Welcome back, race fans. It's time for race 3 in the El Camino section. Last night saw some insane driving from Josh Pulver for Rust Belt Racing. You can see here, just slamming into one of the sponsor signs and causing absolute carnage on the track.
Yeah, mate, he was mental last night, and we're very lucky we didn't have a fatality. You see there just how close it was. That was ridiculous.
Okay, tonight's racing, we've got Steve Nicely for Nice Guy Racing and Lightning Jim Leichsenring for QC Racing up front, and in behind we've got Barney Erasmus for Telanus Racing.
Another set of new drivers here. Be very interested to see if these guys can handle it better than the Monte Carlos did. And again, we've got one of those El Caminos with that ridiculous big engine in the back. I just don't know if it's going to help him or not.
Nicely out to an early lead. Through comes Leichsenring. Lightning Jim living up to his name there. What an overtake manoeuvre.
And Barney over on his roof there, I'm not quite sure what happened because I was a bit distracted by Lightning Jim. And Rick's towing coming in extra hot tonight, almost taking out the cameraman.
Look at that manoeuvre by Leichsenring, just sliding past Nicely, and Nicely, being the nice guy he is, leaves the door open for him, lets him get away with it.
Yeah, this is just a beautiful bit of driving. He must have hit the NOS going down there because he was well behind. And there he is just sliding on through. Just a stunning bit of driving. And Lightning Jim absolutely living up to his name.
Barney getting a lift back to the top as we reset for lap 2. Can Leichsenring hold on? As we know, it's not always about being fast on this track. You've got to be consistent. Lightning Jim out in the lead. And a taste. Oh, Barney slamming into the others behind there. What was that about?
I think he's a bit pissed about getting overtaken here. You see Nicely coming down the outside, and he slides across in front of him just like Jim Leichsenring did to him in the previous lap. And then just slams into them as a, take that. You want to sit in front of me? Have some of that.
Yeah, Nicely pulling out the same manoeuvre there. See that again. He comes across and just, he dedicates that early. He was going wide. If Barney hadn't backed off slightly, he could have been pushed off the track. Interesting manoeuvre there from Nicely. Oh, Jim gets caught up on the track. Barney slams into the back of him. Lightning Jim holds on to it. And Barney comes through. What happened to Steve Nicely? Nicely's on his roof now.
I don't know what happened there. Can we see what happens? Oh, he just bounces up and rolls over. Same thing happened to one of the Caminos the other night. It was Chris Carhuna. That suspension's just wound up too tight. And yeah, it just flips up. Can't handle the jump. He's going to have to soften that off for this lap.
Final lap now. Steve Nicely starting in the last row. Can he get past Barney? Lightning Jim off to an early lead. Takes the win. Steve Nicely slides in through second. Very nicely done. Barney taking third.
You can see both Steve and Barney there just having a little bit of a wobble on the landing, getting a little bit loose, but managed to hold on to it.
Yeah, you can see from this angle both of them bouncing, but obviously that minor adjustment obviously just taking the worst of that bounce out. Lightning Jim Leichsenring looking very smooth, taking every lap. That's 3 consistent El Camino drivers now. Tux McBee, Kit Kayam and Jim Leichsenring have all won every lap of their races. Looking at the final standings for tonight, Jim coming in first, Steve Nicely for Nice Guy Racing coming in second, and Barney Erasmus for Telanus Racing coming in third. That means for the redemption we've got London Possible for Sasquatch Family Racing, Noki Jack for Jackson Pass Speedway and Barney Erasmus for Telanus Racing shooting it out for another chance, and the first and second place from that race will be facing off against AJ from MGH Racing and Kevin from Kevin Badburn 03 Racing.
Gee, she's going to be quite a mixed bag.
That overtake manoeuvre by Jim in that first lap was absolutely stunning. He dedicated to it coming down the ramp, and he just didn't back off.
I mean, he's a bit keen firing up the NOS that early in the race, but it definitely paid off for him.
And of course, he stayed consistently smooth through the rest of the racing, and as we know, that's what makes a difference on this track. That's enough for tonight. Get ready for the redemption rounds. They'll be happening next. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We will see you next time. So Guru, who are you picking for the redemption rounds?
Mate, it's going to be harder to pick than a broken nose, that one.
And I know that all the teams are working hard on their cars trying to make sure that they're ready for that race. No one wants to let the second chance slip by.
They are working harder than a dog trying to bury a bone on a concrete floor.